The United Kingdom Foundation Program allocation system just got a massive overhaul, which changes everything for international graduates as well as UK graduates. In the previous model, there was some scoring system taking into account your educational performance and an exam called situational judgment test, and that would have awarded you a rank, and based on that rank, you would allocate it to your preference list. But in this new model, they have introduced a new system which takes away a lot of things. And let's get to this video and discuss about the whole system and pros and cons of this system in terms of international medical graduates applying into United Kingdom Foundation Program.
If this is the first time you're checking out our channel, welcome. Basically what we do is we run a website that's totally free known as roadtok.com, and it will explain the ins and outs about everything related to the United Kingdom and what it takes for you to work as a doctor in the NHS. So if you've not already, please stalk us on all of our social media. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hi everyone, my name is Ibrahim. I work as a specialty registrar in telemedicine in the NHS. Let's start with the burning question. Should I do UKFP or not? Is this video for me? So I want to categorize two groups of people for which the video would be applicable. The first group of people are the UK or European graduates who are eligible to get provisional registration with General Medical Council, so that they will have to do an United Kingdom Foundation program to progress their career in the United Kingdom. Or the international medical graduates who are outside UK and EEA but have a postgraduate internship with their university. That means they don't have to do internship in their country to be graduate. And in that case, they can get provisional registration with GMC after taking exams like PLAB or UKMLA in the coming years. So for these two groups of people, this news is big because they have to do UKFP as their starting job, as a starting pathway, which is foundation training in the United Kingdom. But for those people who can get full registration in the United Kingdom, they have other pathways, which is well discussed in this video by Dr. Ibrahim. Be sure to check it out. Let's go back to the people who have to start as a foundation year 1 doctor as a UKFP foundation training, and what things were in place and what has changed. If you were an international medical graduate willing to join a foundation program, that means you had to be eligible for it, and your eligibility application generally opened in July, and after you apply for the eligibility, you had to have your diploma of your passing your degree, you have to have an English language certificate, either IELTS or OET, if you studied in a country where majority of the people did not speak English. Then you have to provide an English language certificate where the requirement is a bit higher than GM's registration. And you had to provide a signed dean statement from your dean that you are applying for foundation training in the UK. And with this paperwork, you could apply for eligibility in July. This is the July of the previous year where the training would start. That means in July 2023, the application for eligibility the training is actually starting in August 2024. All of this is another video, but I just want to give you a brief idea here as well. So you apply for July as an eligibility, you're found eligible, then you apply as a national application with all the other applicants of UK and other medical school along with it, because you've been found eligible in September. In September, your national application, and then previous years, you were given an option to book for an SJT exam, which would happen around January, February time. And based on your score in SJT, and your score of your educational performance measure. So in your dean statement, your dean would have mentioned how did you do in your medical school, and based on that, you'd be given a score, final score. On that score, you'd be given a rank as well. So someone would be number 1, someone would be number 500, someone would be number 2000, and on that ranking, you put a preference list, and by March, you get allocated to a UKFP job. So this was the previous model. And now in educational performance measure, this has changed recently as well. Previously, there was 7 points allocated for additional achievements, like if you had publications, if you had a separate degree, like a master's degree or a PhD, along with your MBBS. I don't know who these people were, but there was. So you had this additional degree, but which has been scrapped already in 2023 allocation. It was completely based on your medical school score. So how well did you do in your medical school? And that would make up 50, and SGT would make up 50, and you would get a score. That was in 2023. Now, in 2024, as I said, as I started the video, there's a major change. And the major change is they took away everything. Yes, they took away every scoring system that was like, categorizing you or giving you a rank or anything previously. So they made the completely open computer generated number. So if you're found eligible to apply for UKFP, you'd be given a computer generated number, and based on that number, you would be asked to provide a preference list like you did before. But now this preference list would be all run into an algorithm based on all the preferences that each and every applicant had put forward, and they will allocate accordingly randomly. Yeah. Randomly, I say, because say, for example, 500 seats available in a specific area. But if, say, 3,000 people chose that specific 500 seat as their first choice, which 500 people out of those 3,000 people will get allocated there? It's random. So your preference list makes a big decision regarding where you'll get allocated in foundation program. Nothing else. There is no SGT, there is no educational performance. So even if you did well in your medical school, it doesn't matter in getting into an SGT anymore. Even if you studied really hard, because there is no SGT to take. The argument for, so now let's dive into a bit the pros and cons of the whole new model. The pros of the new model is it has made things much fair to everybody, because some medical school might be more competitive than other medical school, and the educational performance measure is not equal. See, to be in the top 10 percentile in one medical school might be really difficult compared to another medical school to be in top 10 percentile. So even if you score 50 or say 45 in one medical school, and the other person maybe with the same knowledge and same caliber of performance, they probably would not even score 41 or something like that. So that's one argument. Another argument is SGT is a very situational judgment, so it can be really variable. I know if you had any idea about how SGT questions were made previously, it's a bit unfair for also the international graduates who are taking this exam, because the situational assessment relies heavily on the NHS work systems, as well as the colloquialism or the localism in what language are used. So based on all of that, it was not a very fair system to allocate people on their foundation training. So they scraped all of that. Now, if I have to think about cons of the system, of the new model, the only thing that comes to my mind is it's that the whole thing not being competitive anymore and solely reliant on luck, it just removes the drive to be excellent. That's what I personally feel, because there is no standard of excellence anymore. But to be honest, the time will tell how this whole new model will help doctors. But from the outside, and me being already working in the NHS and seeing it from that point of view, I feel this change has been a major positive change for a lot of international medical graduates who wants to or have no other way than joining UKFP and working in the UK as a foundation doctor and move on forward. That's it for today. So keep an eye out on the foundation program website about when they open for the eligibility application of this year, because normally it starts around July. So they haven't published a dean statement or the whole process yet, the applicant handbook and all sorts of things, but soon it will be out. And if you are thinking about applying for UKFP this year, it's like a massive good news for you. And otherwise, if you are a fourth year, third year medical student elsewhere in the world and you are thinking about, okay, yes, I want to join UKFP, the only thing you have to think about is how you're getting your provisional registration, provisional GMC registration. If you have to take an exam for that, that would be the only thing you'll have to. All the next steps are basically applying and computer generated and your preferences and all sorts of things. So good luck to you if you are wanting to join UKFP foundation training and if you're eligible for it. If you have any questions or require further guidance planning the whole pathway, we do offer personalized guidance session to help you understand the different steps of the pathway and keep you up to date with the latest knowledge and the latest news of the whole system. You can always book a session with either me or Ibrahim at road2.uk/session. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please do like this video, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We'll see you next time. Thank you.